You're listening to the Lights On radio show. My name's NAOMI STOCKMAN. I'm your host, and I've got with me today in studio Sarah Chemaissem from Beyond NLP Coaching. Thanks for coming in, Sarah. It's a bit of a drive, but you're here.
Thanks for having me.
And we've not stopped talking since Sarah got here. We're both hypnotherapists, and you might be wondering why one hypnotherapist would be talking to another hypnotherapist on radio. And we've just haven't stopped talking because there is so much to talk about when it comes to the unconscious mind, trance, change, beliefs, everything like that. And we both have a journey of how we got into doing hypnosis with clients. And part of that is I want to cover off with Sarah what her journey is. But first I want to tell you about her qualifications. She is a super educated woman. So she's a certified clinical hypnotherapist and trainer, certified and qualified trainer in timeline therapy. She's a certified master NLP practitioner and trainer, certified strategic psychotherapist, licensed neuro encoding specialist, certified
Axiotonal.
I feel like I'm back at school sounding out words. You'll have to tell us what that's about. Alignment therapist and trainer, and she's doing a Bachelor of Counselling currently, which is keeping her super busy, along with running her practice, which is in Queen Street in Campbelltown, beyond it. Just off Queen Street. Which street?
Yeah, off Queen Street. It's King Street.
King Street, that's it. I've been there. So first, I want full disclosure here. I actually was wanting to work with somebody last year, and I put it out to the universe. I don't know if you believe in manifestation, but I definitely do. And I went to an event. It was actually a women's awards night, and I bought a raffle ticket and I won Sarah's 6 coaching package. So I went and saw Sarah last year as a client, and I can tell you she's absolutely fabulous and amazing.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
It's good to get some feedbacks, but yes, you're very good. So tell us a little bit about what you do, how you do it, all the axiotonal, what does it all mean? What's important? Just for if you're listening and you're thinking to yourself, hypnosis is weird, that's what we're talking about today.
Well, it does start off as weird because I was freaked out when I was studying hypnotherapy. But all the labels are just additions to the tools that I have that I can deliver to clients. So when you say strategic psychotherapy and hypnosis and all of that, I have a vast variety of tools in my box that I can deliver when we have some complex trauma presenting itself in the session. And I think it's really important for any therapist to have a lot of things that they've got their hands in multiple things. So if they get stuck somewhere, they don't have to always refer them to someone because they've got enough tools to get them out of the problem.
Yes.
But when you hone down into everything that I have learned, hypnotherapy is my favorite treatment by far.
And that's because it works with the unconscious mind.
Exactly. And it's something that my kids get so annoyed by. And also my husband, because I'm always bringing that to the awareness, even at home. You know, the things that you watch, the things that you're hearing, your friends, your surroundings, it really affects the internalization of your world. And then it comes out through the conscious awareness, which means when you're having a conversation with someone at that level, what's running is something deeper than that. The things that we say and how we present ourselves, and if there is some hidden traumas or pain or things that we hadn't experienced in life, it pops up through the conscious language. And so hypnotherapy works at a deeper level. In order to create a bit of a congruency through the conscious and the unconscious mind, well, you got to get the client to relax first. And you got to put them in a state where they're so comfortable with you and you've built such a great rapport at a conscious level that the unconscious starts to think, who is this person? That's a deeper level. You know, and I'm sure you've had this experience with your clients. You can't just go in, let's go straight into hypnosis. It doesn't work that way unless they're highly suggestible. Yes. That's a different story.
There's like 1 in 10 or something people that are just like highly prone to hypnosis and trance, and they're the people that are so easily influenced and lose themselves so easily.
They usually give them a label of gullible, but the truth is they're extremely highly suggestible. So when they're listening to anything, they're watching anything, they're so influenced that they embody that and they live through it until the next chapter comes through into them to influence them again. And I have met some of these people in my lifetime and as clients where all you need to say is just close your eyes, you're into a deep trance, and next thing you know, they're listening to everything and they're in a deep level. You didn't have to take them through stages to get there.
Yeah.
Their trust with people is so open, and that's just their minds. Can get a little bit dangerous, though.
So tell me a little bit what types of things that people come to you for. I know what people come to me for. What do they come to you for?
I tend to attract people at the beginning of my therapy, my
journey practice.
Yeah, like I had an intention where I wanted to help everyone. And then I realized over time you got to niche it down.
Yeah.
Because you get such a vast variety. But with time, the people that I usually get is anywhere from PTSD to complex trauma. So a little bit more the complex situations. And I think because I've mastered it so well, I seem to attract the same sort of people that come through. And I enjoy working with them because when you look at complex trauma, the amygdala of the brain is so alert. And everything is opened up. It's like a computer with apps. And everything is open at the same time simultaneously. And because I'm a fast-paced type of character, at a conscious level, I'm able to grasp it so rapidly and then gently tone it down and put them into a level of trance where they can start to unpack each, let's call it filing drawers or app that's open. So complex trauma is sort of my niche. But I do get my, the anxiety and the depression. We do get the quit smoking and the weight loss. I try to avoid certain things because my main niche is the complexity of the brain. I enjoy it. I like to watch my clients evolve. I love witnessing the whole experience until they get to the other side.
Yes, it is good. And we were talking earlier that you don't need to necessarily be highly traumatized or have a whole stack of deep issues to come to a hypnotherapist, because the thing with hypnotherapy, hypnosis, and those kind of unconscious modalities is that you could, for example, have a little area of your life that you want to improve. And it could be relationship, it could be communication, could be just anything. Confidence.
Self-esteem.
Yeah.
And whatever that means to you. You come in with a presenting problem. You come in and you don't want to utilize the treatment of hypnosis, but you want to see a counselor or psychotherapist because you've tried other treatments. They didn't work out. So, usually they come through as a referral. And then when they come through, I naturally put them into trance. And they're able to get the things that they're after, but they're not aware of at a conscious level. So it's not me giving them the answers to what they want or they want to hear. It's just like almost you're facilitating something. And as we were having discussion before we went live, it's like a tunnel. And I usually say this, people are in focal vision, pretty much. Why do they go therapy? So they can expand that awareness, right?
Yep.
And so we're just the facilitators. We don't treat the actual problem. They are treating it. We're just expanding how they're seeing the problem.
Yes.
And they can see the left, the right, which means they've got more opportunities to open up doors, and that helps them unpack what's going on. So it builds the confidence or self-esteem.
Because a lot of times in life, and I know I've had this, is you have like a situation that doesn't feel good, or you're frustrated, or, it's upsetting or something like that. And if you really tune into it, you realize that this isn't the first time you felt this feeling. And that's what happens is you go into pattern, repeat. I always feel let down, or I always feel like I give more than I receive, or no one, I'm always putting myself last, or, whatever the pattern is, might be rejection, abandonment, blame, whatever. And then when we get to a point where we say, I've had enough of this, I want something else, and we talked about this off air before as well, a lot of people, when they get to this sort of like lost, I don't like where my life's at, they'll go and see a psychic. They'll go and see a psychic. Please tell me something about my future, because I feel like I can't see my future. What is it when you can't see your future? It means that you're completely shut off, right? You said about the foveal view before. And so what we were talking about off air before is the benefit, because each of us has a sense of intuition. We all have, whether we're connected to it or not, it's another thing. It's there. So all the answers for our life are within us. And when you go to a hypnotherapist like Sarah, that's when you can connect with that and find your own answers, because no one can give you that.
No, even with psychics, even if they have a great ability, they're just feeding off what you've given them as information to guide them to the answers that you want to hear. And the only difference is in hypnosis, you're building that rapport. And with, for instance, how the way I work is I teach my client how to trust themselves first.
How important is trusting yourself? I think 90% of my clients come in, and when they are finding their wisdom, it's like, the truth, what's the truth under this is trust myself more.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the foundation of confidence, of self-esteem, whatever label you want to give it. Yeah. That is your foundation. If I can get you to realize that you can trust yourself and you have that ability, I've just opened up the portal from focal to peripheral vision, and I've allowed you to tap into that intuitive state.
So just if you're listening and you don't know what foveal vision is, when we go into a state of high cortisol and stress, and we're in fight and flight, perhaps our vision, it physically narrows so that we can focus on whatever it is that we need to focus on. And when we're calm and relaxed, we become aware of our surroundings. So one thing you can do actually at any time is to start to become aware of your peripheral vision, like all of what's around you, as far around you, even thinking about what's behind me right now. What's to the left of me, what's to the right of me. And that can allows your brain to know that I don't have to be super focused right now. It's
that exactly right. There's a strategy that, if you are listening right now on air, there's a great strategy, and I use it with my clients. Just expand your vision on your own. Is put your hands next to your face, and I call it the jelly fingers, and then just notice it. Don't do anything else.
Yeah.
But look forward. Look at someone's nose or the wall, and then just keep expanding it, focusing forward.
Yeah.
Your eyes now have the ability to see your hands at a greater view while you're focused forward. And that expands your peripheral vision. And we use this with ADHD as well, especially kids.
Yes.
To teach them how to focus and hone down the ability of the mind to stabilize itself, and they're not so chaotic.
Yeah, okay. And I have some theories about ADHD as well, and nervous system stuff, because the brain, when they're looking at ADHD, it's very similar, isn't it, the scans to somebody that's going through distress.
Fight and flight mode.
Yes.
Survival.
Yeah.
But their one is switched on as a little bit longer, prolonged. And they don't know why it's switched on. But we don't need to know the why for everything, Naomi.
No. Gosh, no.
Far out. If you need to know the why for everything, you'll be questioning the rest of your life. You got to go back to the core. Trust.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Let's work on the condition now.
Yes.
The behavior now.
Yes.
The why is not going to fix the problem.
No. No.
Can I just confuse you?
Yep. It's like, this is what I've got on my plate at the moment. This is where I am right now. And then getting to a point where you're like, right, what's next? What am I going to do next?
What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? That's the question. And so when you're presenting yourself with ADHD, or you have a child with ADHD, instead of thinking, why me, and as a parent, or why me as a human being that I have this, instead of asking the why, how can I tap in and expand my ability to calm my mind down?
Yeah.
That's a better question.
Yeah.
Because now you're dealing with it and it's no longer a problem. Literally.
And every limitation is an opportunity for this stuff, isn't it?
Always. I don't think there is limitations. Really, they're expansions of yourself and the possibilities of how to grow. The limitations are just your ability to keep building on and stacking that trust that I have the ability to work through this. Because at the end of the day, Naomi, in my belief system, we're all here on a short time.
Very short.
Very short. And we lose track of time because we're so busy with everything else around us that we don't realize we're entering and we're leaving this world. And so while you're in it, why don't you just utilize each thing as it comes and deal with it? Once it's done and dusted, move past it and be in the present again.
Yes.
Because a lot of people that usually come to therapy is because they're dealing with something that's so painful from when?
Not now. It's usually when it's stuff that's stuck in your nervous system. You're stuck. Looping in your brain, memories, thoughts that are obsessive, or,
But where does that come from? Yesterday. The past. But you can't drive that vehicle looking in the rearview mirror. Even if you tried, you can't. You're going to hit the car in front of you. It's inevitable. So what must you do? Focus on the now. But you can't focus on the now if you're still holding on to yesterday.
Yep.
And so hypnosis has the ability to help you drop into that trancey state and to see from focal to peripheral. And we don't tell you what to do in there.
No, because you already have all those resources. It's just about allowing, like, what did you say before? You said you open the doors.
I help them expand the vision where they can see all the doors.
Yeah, see them.
Just got to see it. If you can see it, now I'll give you the tool where you can find in your pocket, in your unconscious mind, to find the key and choose which door you want to open. And if you don't like it, guess what? Come back out. Go to the next
another one. There's so many
possibilities.
So many possibilities. And often we feel in life like we don't have choices, we're trapped, everybody else can, I can't. Like there's so many situations that we get ourselves into that we feel are too big for us.
Yeah.
And the truth is that when we look back as the now person, that like if I look back on my life at the things that I thought were impossible, the person I am now thinks that wasn't that hard.
No.
It's
because you've got the strength, the ability, you've got the tools. But that person that thought that then wasn't resourceful enough and was maybe in a fight-flight response. And so whatever strategy you used then actually worked for you then. The only problem is what people tend to do is bring that problem or the strategy and the problem is disappeared and they put it in the now, which creates a new problem. Because you can't use the same hammer that you used when you were 2 when you're 50. It's worn out. You gotta renew it with the times. You know, you go to Bunnings and you get a tool.
Yes.
How long does it last you for real?
Oh, depends who's using it.
Thank you. Thank you. Who's using it and how many times have you used it? But what some people like to do is hoard it for the rest of their life, and that's where the limiting beliefs are birthed. That's where the lack of trust shows up. And they don't realize and recognize that these are the multiple facets of life that's pushing them back. But these are all from your history.
I love your tool analogy. Do you know why? Because I'm now thinking like things like why use a broom when you can use one of those blower vacs. It's like
all the new things.
I'm just going to get my hypnosis. I'm going to just blow a vac all my problems out, and I'm just going to, champion myself, get more confidence, be able to do things like I didn't think I could do before, like talk on radio.
That's a good one. Well, look where I am right now.
That's right.
You got to overcome those limitations. You know how they say fake it till you make it? But there are some limitations that are holding you back. And what hypnosis does, it just expands it for you. It's almost like when you purchase a new puzzle, you get so excited when you buy it because you see the image already done on the front picture.
Yes.
But then you open it and you realize, holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I didn't realize it was 250 pieces.
And they're all the same colour. I did that.
I've done that with my kids too, trust me.
I bought the, what was it, Batman on it. The Batman logo. It's just all yellow and black.
How do you put that one together?
Oh, I went into a hypnotic trance. Actually, no one could interrupt me. I had to get that puzzle finished. But
my question to you, where did you start? Inside or out?
The outside.
Why did you start outside?
Because it's easier to find the straight lines.
And the outside is the recent past.
Yeah.
Think of it that way.
Yeah.
It's the yesterday and the week before and then the month before. And then as you start to layer your puzzle, you get to the center. That's where the core of everything is. And when you apply the center, your puzzle's complete.
Yep. And then after you finish the puzzle, you pack it away and it's gone.
It's done.
It's done.
Do you ever undo it and redo it again?
I undo it and then I give it away.
Yeah, but you don't redo it.
Someone else can have that problem.
Isn't that interesting that we bring problems to ourselves?
It is.
Because life wasn't challenging enough, right?
I know, right? It would be, I have thought that. It would be super, super boring if we just got here and life was just too easy.
I was thinking that as I was driving today. I'm like, I didn't have the challenges I had the past week or two because there's no perfection in life.
No way. Yep.
Okay. And you stumble. You have your own personal things that pop up for you. Some remind you of your past, even if you've healed, but it's a reminder. It's but it puts you back into perspective. Where am I now? what have I overcome and how did I overcome it, that I can utilize it again in the now, similar to the hammer analogy.
Yeah.
That I don't have to think about it again and just box it away. As you said, it's no longer my problem. I'll just give it away.
Yeah.
Right? But it wasn't really a problem to begin with. You decided to challenge your mind.
That's right.
Literally. That's all you did. You didn't go and say, I want a problem. In your mindset, at a conscious level, you're like, I'm bored. So you went and invited a challenge. Life is like that. The only difference is we don't invite the challenges. They sometimes come across like a car accident. That's a challenge. The one that's hurt, the one that's involved, the insurance, the car, all the possibilities that are happening in that accident, right? You didn't invite that, but it's a challenge. The question is, how do you cope and deal with it as opposed to panicking, oh my God, I'm not going to have a car. Think of your health in the now. Where are you? Just that ability to hone back into yourself. What does that come back to? The beginning of our session is trust. Trust where you are. Why are you in this moment? Well, because there's a lesson. What is my lesson? And that's what hypnosis does. It gets you to expand that peripheral and to see the opportunities. And it's a very gentle approach.
It is very gentle.
It's a beautiful approach.
It's gentle and it allows you to do everything within your mind, so you're not having to be exposed, and it's not a conscious thing. It's very personal, very personal. And do you know what? When I'm doing a session with a client, I run through the session, and then at the end of the session, the client might share with me some things. Yeah. And like the stuff that they come out with, my goodness me, I have no idea. Like they're giving me like things that wow. You
wouldn't even expect it.
No.
And what you planted as seeds for them, or the doors as an example in their mind.
Yep.
They'll probably tell you, because I've had clients who say, I didn't see a door. You said a door, but I found myself in heaven. For them, door meant heaven. And I didn't know they were doing that.
No.
It's like...
Or they'll start linking, because I had Monique from Learn Aerobics in, and she was doing a lot of the neurological background last week and explaining about how the brain is continuously forming new dendrites, new matter, new neurological pathways, and that's the hypnosis is so powerful for connecting everything
literally.
Yeah. And it's physical. It's a physical, your brain actually makes a connection. It's a physical change in your brain when you do this stuff.
If they allow us to do, if I have the ability to have the scans in my room to show you before and after side effects of the brain, how it looked, if complex trauma, the brain has a lot of knots, let's call it, which are the neuro pathways. And when you're in hypnosis, what happens to those knots? They undo themselves. Now we've got an open free flow for the mind to absorb new information like a sponge.
Yes.
And the problem is no longer a problem. But then some people panic in that state thinking, well, what do I fill it up with? I'm so open. What information? And so then that's the part where I stack up hypnosis again the following week. I'm like, what do you want to expand on? What do you want to work on? What do you want to have? Is there a role model that really intrigues you? And so then I'll take all these notes down, utilizing their own resources, so it's nothing from me.
No, yes,
and then
never
I'll
from
integrate
us.
it. No. And they would go and plant all those seeds. I'll say, when you thought of so-and-so and you loved their performance, I wonder if you could take something along in your bucket. What's the bucket? Their mind. And then it creates that congruency. So the conscience, what it wants, while at the unconscious level it's not there, we've planted it in the unconscious, now the conscience has that integration. That's all it is. But a lot of people fear hypnosis, which dazzles me, because they think it's mind control.
It's
right?
fear of the unknown, and it's false publicity. When you see the stage hypnotist, and that's completely different to hypnotherapy.
As a treatment.
Yeah. That's where it becomes a little bit like, people come and they're quite nervous sometimes because they don't know what's going to happen. Are you going to take over my mind, control me, like that kind of thing? No, nothing like that. It's all, sometimes people are quite deeply in trance. Like I'll say, how long do you think that was? And they'll say, 5, max 10 minutes. And I'll be like, no, that was 50 minutes. They have like a time distortion.
That's right.
But other people, they're very, very lucid.
They're aware.
Aware.
They're very aware.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to take control.
But
so that stubborn awareness, do you know what that does? It doesn't allow the foval to consistently expand. That's all it is. It's a bit of rigidness. And so my philosophy is you got to keep loosening up their model of the world prior to putting them into hypnosis. That's it. And you're not putting them in hypnosis as such.
No.
The first question is they look at me and it's like, so you're going to control me? So you're going to fix this problem? I'm like, no.
I don't fix anything.
No. And I'm not a surgeon.
No.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but that doesn't happen. But hypnosis is when you're driving a car and you've done it enough times to get to a certain destination, you don't even know how you got there and how you parked.
Yes.
You're in your own hypnosis.
And that's why you forget where you parked. That happens to me.
Because you're so in trance that you don't know what's going on anymore. You're on autopilot. The only difference is when you're doing it on your own, very unconscious, and I'm doing it in the room, you're aware of it happening.
And when you are doing these kind of, because the thing is that, say, for example, I came to you last year, right? Why would I go to someone else when I've got all this training? And the reason is, and I link it back to like out of scripture, like when two or more come together, is a clue there that we actually need to work with each other. And the reason for that is I can put myself into trance, but once I'm in trance, I'm not driving anymore. So then what happens is I'm driving, whoops, I'm gone, right? And then I can't ask the right questions or give the right guidance to myself.
Because you're so deep.
Because the conscious mind needs to work with the unconscious mind, and so I need another person to be the conscious mind for me.
To help guide you through it.
Yeah, it's a guiding, for the word facilitate or whatever it is. It's very important to have the right hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
It's like anything, like if you go to the hairdresser, you want the right hairdresser to get
the right fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's all types of hypnotherapists out there. You've got people that do a lot of traditional, which is script work. So they work off a piece of paper for every single client for the same problem. That doesn't work for everyone. As you were saying, the analogy of a hairdresser, you're not going to go to the hairdresser to get this certain, bob cut, and he's going to give you the same one that the other guy was going to give you.
Well, you could have like thick hair, fine hair. Like everyone's got everything's different. Literally. But when I don't know about you, but when I first started training in hypnosis, I was given scripts. I used the scripts. I practiced the scripts. There was different techniques for inductions, deepeners, etc., exductions, and so there's all of that is where you start when you do your training.
The beginning,
and then it becomes like a creative, limitless,
imaginative freelancer.
Yes.
It's like a writer. They read so many books, they follow so many structures, almost like the puzzle. You got to start at the edge and work your way in.
Yep.
But when you become so good at it, out go the papers, out go the scripts. I'm working with you.
Yeah.
The paper's not going to define you. It's your story. My first question would be to you before we go into hypnosis is, what do you love doing? What are you good at? What are your hobbies?
Yeah.
These are your resources.
Yeah.
And then I write them down and I begin facilitating the hypnosis around that, because guess what? Your mind doesn't trust anyone more than yourself.
That's true.
And I'm feeding back what you already know to be true for you, that you're good at. And then we expand, because a lot of people have the resources already, but are not resourceful enough to come out of the problem. Hence why they seek the help with a therapist and all of that. But as you go back to the beginning of our conversation, you don't have to come for something so large. It could be something so little. But this little thing can expand so greatly because the education you're getting in hypnosis, while someone is helping facilitate it for you to get you through the patterns or the problems, and then you come out of it on the other end very different. And when I say different, it's not magic. It takes a couple of days to show up for some. Some it's immediate. It's an immediate response. And others, after a few months, they realize, I'm not following this old pattern and behavior. That's how hypnosis works. It's integration. When you download a new game on your computer, the computer needs to warm up, the motherboard needs to build up, you can hear the sounds, but time after time you keep opening up the same game, what happens? You don't hear the rest.
That's
it just
right.
does it.
And it's like with hypnosis, it's like you can paint by numbers and make a beautiful picture, right?
Always.
Or you can just be an artist and get in there. And that's the creative side of it, because hypnosis is trance work. It is imagination. There's emotion. There's repetition. There's all of that good stuff that is connecting straight to the unconscious mind to create different opportunities, because you can't live a life that you can't imagine. If you can't imagine happiness, or if you can't imagine...
Then you can't achieve it.
That's right. So the first thing, and this is for sometimes people say, well, I can't imagine happiness. At some point in life, you have had the access to of happiness. And we just connect.
Well, what the therapist does when someone comes and says, my whole life... In psychotherapy, that's called a globalization. You've attached one problem to everything. What we do is untangle that belief first. Because if you're going to still hold on to that belief and then I put you in trance, you're getting nowhere, because you're still stuck in that belief, right? What I was saying before, loosening up the model of the world. So we go back in time to find when was the first incident where you experienced the whole life problem.
Yes.
Right? And then when we get to that, and I'm like, okay, so before that and after that, did you have a happy moment? Did you have a child? Yeah, that was a happy moment. I'm like, so it wasn't your whole life, was it? So I challenged their brain. And then I'm like, oh, crap, no, it was not my whole life. Why would I say that? Like, because you've been saying it your whole life.
And your words matter. I want to just put that out there. Your words do matter.
All the time.
You're listening to the Lights On radio show with NAOMI Stockman. I'm your host, and I've got with me Sarah Chemaissem from Beyond NLP Coaching in Campbelltown. She's a hypnotherapist, and we've been talking about all kinds of things, and we're going to be just having a couple more minutes. I think we've got maybe about 5 minutes more we can spend chatting with you today, and I hope that you have found what we've been talking about interesting, because I just love, and we're both very passionate about the power of hypnosis and how it helps us to unpack and release our potential, basically, isn't it?
100%. And all the emotions that you've been holding on and carrying throughout your lifetime. You know, you've got the anger, the sadness, you've got the guilt, the hurt, the shame, you got the fear, which is so debilitating for so many, because that's the anxiety that doesn't allow you to move forward, because you're always worried about the uncertainties of tomorrow, the future. And so hypnosis helps us demystify all these belief systems that you've created over the years of your life, and the how it does it is just when you learn to retrust yourself, and you have the ability to retrust yourself with the guide of a great therapist, and you build that beautiful rapport. You're halfway there. You're 50% there. The problem is no longer a problem. The other part is now just demystifying further and unpacking it, and then just clearing out that baggage that you've been carrying of emotions or limiting beliefs or whatever it is that you want to work on. And then you move past that, and now you can live a life of fulfillment, because nothing is holding you back anymore. But it always comes back down, and as I say, and I'll repeat it over and over, trust, 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 trust. If you don't trust yourself, you won't know how to trust others. If you don't trust yourself enough, you won't have the ability to overcome certain things within yourself, because trust is the main formula to overcome so many things within ourselves. It's just been constrained from our histories, our childhood, the things that, you know, has been planted as seeds with us. But half those things are not ours. There was someone else's beliefs, our parents or guardians. It was not our philosophy. It was theirs. It doesn't mean everything that was planted should go, but it also doesn't mean that the things that were planted should stay.
No, because it's like someone's planting in your garden, but you can redo the whole garden.
Reinvent it.
Plant other stuff. Change it. Hedge it. Prune it.
Exactly.
Make it nice.
Pretty it up to whatever pretty looks like to you. But if you've got all these roses and you've been poked and stoked all your life with all the thorns, and you think that's okay and that's normal, no, then that's okay for you and it's normal. But in technical truth, you are in suffering when you're looping in a problem. So sometimes you got to get it to the root, get rid of it, keep a few, because roses are pretty.
Yeah.
Keep a few. But also plant your own ideas, plant your own perceptions, plant what you want for you. And a lot of people come in and say, but Sarah, I don't know what I really want.
What do you want? That's the question to ask. What do you want?
And, you know, I had this one client that once came through, I don't know. I don't know what I want, because there was so much congestion in that garden of different beliefs and values and faith and everything. It was a big cocktail in there, right?
Other people's expectations.
Literally, and the judgment and all of that. I'm like, if we removed all of this for a minute, would you know what you want then? And then she sat back and she goes, yeah, of course. What was that? She was still contaminated by everything that was planted over the years of her lifetime, that she wasn't able to see what she really wanted because she was still worried about the judgment, the beliefs, and everything was going to get shackled. It was almost like I was going to be the black sheep, and I don't want to be that because I'll stand out.
Yeah. And standing out is one thing that people sometimes have learned is not safe. Speaking up, speaking out, being heard. Like, do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, so many people, they're shutting down all the time. I shut down, I shut down, I shut down. Don't be seen, don't be heard, don't stand out, don't
hide.
Get attention, just slip under the radar.
But do you know what happens to these people? And the reason why, and I'm not saying from the people that I've dealt with, I'm speaking from experience, because I was one of those people very long time ago. And speaking from that truth and from that point of view, because the world is very scary from that point of view, by the way. It's horrific. You're afraid of everything. Disease is birthed there.
Well, the body manifests whatever congestion is happening in other parts, in spiritual parts, in emotional parts, in mental parts.
And the blockages.
The body keeps the score. That's
100%.
The book.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And while it keeps score, you then start to blame, oh, he did it to me, she did it for me, and blah, blah, blah. And then we're living in this cycle of victim mentality because you can't speak up. You can't say your truth because if you discovered your truth, it's too scary because I'm going to isolate. But in that truth, you might
Fear
change
of rejection.
100%. But you could change the dynamics of that family by change alone on your own. At the beginning, it's going to shake everyone up. It's going to make everyone uncertain and very uncomfortable. That's the truth. It always starts that way. There is no other way around it. But eventually, some people really do come on board. And if they don't, too bad. It's my garden. I'm an adult now. I can make my own decisions.
That's another thing that I find is very common is that, and I had this myself, is where you feel like you're a fake grown-up because everyone else is a real grown-up, but I feel like I'm a fake grown-up. I don't have that anymore. And how liberating is it to feel like I'm
Free.
actually me, like an adult, and I can do what I want, say what I want.
Whenever I want.
And I don't have to follow the path of everybody else. If I don't want to work 9 to 5, I can do 6 things. If I want to do nothing, I can do that. If I want to, there's always so many possibilities when you open your mind up.
100%. There's so much liberation in just knowing who you are as an individual as opposed to who you've been
conditioned
to be. Because half of it isn't yours.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm very excited. I hope if you're listening and you have even connected with part of what Sarah and I have talked about, feel free to connect. And I know that you will not regret that. I loved my sessions with Sarah, and totally fabulous. My reviews actually on video on your website. So that's great. We've got to say goodbye now. We've got 12 seconds to let you know that up next is some curated music followed by the past. Stay listening. Have a fantastic, great weekend, and tune in next week at 12 midday on Friday for the Lights on Radio show. Have a good day.